What's your activities? How did that come about?
I have to confess that we ran into some challenges. I mean, Sleek Garments started off with a bang because we had brought in technical persons from Sri Lanka with expertise, and we had employed so many given skills along the way, plus the government program had also trained a few that we had employed. But then once we ran into difficulties, and the difficulties had to do with the US market at the time, the financial crunch, and prices went so low that we weren't competitive enough, which meant that we needed to build the efficiency levels of our workers, and there were other things that we needed to deal with. And meanwhile, costs were going up, So we thought to approach whatever agencies were, could support us locally. But then they were not forthcoming. It was taking too long. And then we heard about the SDF program. So we packaged our plan on how to get Sleek back on track to export to the US, and we presented it to the SDF, and they were quite impressed with it. I think one of the things that would have impressed them was that the garment industry is pretty straightforward. You give training to people, you give them the jobs if you have orders, and one can see the trainees at work, and it's easy to monitor how many garments are being produced at any one time, and the levels that rise from training and what is being exported, and all that. So that they found very interesting.
Their intervention was by way of skills development.
Training. To train, it's very expensive. People assume that it's not that expensive, but it's very expensive to train people, even in the shortest period of time in the clothing industry. One, because you're using electricity, and that's expensive. And then, of course, there's water, and there are other costs involved in this. And without support for any private entrepreneur to invest so much, would throw your costs out of balance. Your cash flow will just completely go out of, gear. So we really needed that support. And when we heard about the SDF and what they had to offer, we got pretty excited. Unfortunately, they got excited about what we have to do. Because seriously, the garment industry is one industry that can create jobs for so many in the shortest possible time. It's also an industry that the US has used in the growth of the economy in the past. China has used in the past. Now Bangladesh, Pakistan, and even Cambodia is taking advantage of that, and they're doing so well. And when you come to Africa, if you follow what Lesotho has been doing, Lesotho is exporting so many thousands of garments, which it results in giving jobs to so many people, regular jobs.
That's right.
And people will always need clothing. So this is an area of industry that would always be sustained, so long as there's the right support. It's just that the initial costs of giving skills to people, it's pretty high.
So how many employees do you have now? I mean, as opposed to what, the numbers you had before the intervention of SDF?
All right. Now, the little history is this. We started off and went up to over 300 workers. But then this again dropped, and we went way below 30 workers at a stage. And now we've gone above 30 into 50 with SDF intervention, and we're still growing this. And with the kind of intervention they've given us, we are now even positioned to train about 400 workers at about the same time, with the kind of support that they have given us. And we have the capacity to do this. And so we have numbers that have registered with us, and we are beginning this training full scale. We were doing it a little at a time, but with SDF intervention now, we're doing this full scale. And you've seen our factory, and you've seen the potential that we have, and you see the kind of products that we have there. So this is what SDF has done. It's given us that confidence, and we have related this in our proposals to our buyers, and they are also fully confident that Sleek Garments can get back on track, understanding that with cost covered for training, and with training comes efficiency, we should be able to deliver. So
Laura, you take us into the future briefly to paint us a picture of what it looks like. I mean, what Sleek will look like in the next 5 to 10 years. And then we shall also come back for you to tell us what you think has, resulted in the successes of Sleek Garments so far. We shall be back shortly.
Yeah, behind every successful business entity, there has to be a CEO with a vision, with passion, with drive, with tenacity, and I believe I have all of that. I have a passion for the clothing industry. I've always loved fashion, art, and everything else that it takes. And I'm also very much aware that this is an industry that could help any economy, including our economy. And I have continued to push to find ways of growing my business, of growing the industry in Ghana. I've been pretty much involved in a whole lot of stuff, and I'm currently the chairperson for the garment and textile sector of the Association of Ghana Industries. So this drive and passion makes me search for where there is support for the industry, and then I get that involved in it. So that could be a part of it.
Paint us a picture. 5 years, 10 years down the line. Where will Sleek be?
See, even though we haven't been able to achieve those levels, my company has been able to attract orders from buyers. From Hong Kong, for instance, 200,000 pieces of garments.
And we make them here in Ghana?
We are not able to achieve those volumes yet. And this is why we need SDF. But knowing that we have attracted those orders, that is our future focus. That not only are we going to be shipping 200,000 garments per month, but probably weekly. Because there's a potential for us also to extend this to other factories, even if we don't have the size, the equipment. We can extend the service of having technical, well-trained persons working within factories that we subcontract to. And this is our bigger plan, that we work with subcontractors so that we don't drive away the buyers. But we make them come through and continue to increase the orders to produce for Walmart. It may be cheap items, but it's regular jobs for our people and regular business for all the factories that we get involved in. So going forward, we see ourselves as a leader. We are already recognized as a leader in the industry. And we know true leadership, involving other garment factories and exporting so many high quality garments. We're already exporting quality garments. We've never had any rejections on the international markets, and we have the drive, and we've had support from the West Africa Trade Hub in the past to attend international trade shows, and our garments attract a lot of attention, and they can see the potential for Ghana. So.
Well, we'll be bringing the program to a close, but I want you to say something to encourage entrepreneurs out there who probably may also need the support, the intervention that SDF gave you, looking at the challenge situation on the business landscape.
I want them to invest a lot in setting up their businesses properly. Setting up a business properly is good bookkeeping and getting the right technical persons. Even if you cannot afford it, you can come together as a cluster and share the services of an accounts person, of technical production persons, pattern makers, and so on. And one must never give up, because I started with one sewing machine. I went on to about 20, 30, 50, and now we are a 340 machine factory. So if once upon a time it was just one single machine and myself, and it's now 340, it means if you out there have that single sewing machine and you have the passion for what you're doing and you believe in what you're doing, and knowing that people will always wear clothing. There's the uniform market, there's a children's clothing market, men's sportswear. It's a huge market out there. And we have the human resource locally. And we just need SDF's intervention to give the skills to the human resource, and we can do it. So make sure that you package whatever you have very well. Get technical people to package your idea, and you should be able to access SDF support, I believe.
If ever there is one driver which can propel our country to full-scale developed status, then it is through quality skills training. On that front, the Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, COTVET, through a Skills Development Fund, is spearheading that agenda in Ghana.
Who is going to provide the service?
And our main focus has been on mass production of garments.
There was a lot of talk about Sakawa. Are you able to use these same processes to also apprehend people?
That is correct. Our research showed that Ghana was, I think, number 8 in the world when it comes to cybercrime.
On this program, we shall open up the SDF to you?
So SDF is here to support businesses to train their staff to be very productive.
All that we're trying to do is to build a very solid human capital base.
We shall profile beneficiaries of SDF.
We are now even positioned to train about 400 workers.
We give them $276,000 US. There is a fund from which we are giving grants to businesses to address these challenges.
You develop these moringa plants into products like soap, creams. Okay. My name is Albert Ankra and I bring you SDF Diaries. Make a date with me on GTV. SDF is an initiative of the Government of Ghana with support from the World Bank and Danida. Thank you very much, Nora, and it's been exciting being at your office and also taking a tour around the factory area. I know that you are doing a very wonderful job for Mother Ghana, and Ghana is so very proud of you. SDF is also very proud of you. Thank you so very much for your time. Thank you so very much, viewers, for making a time to watch SDF Diaries. Join us same time next week, and God bless you.